So you're a philosopher?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Oh, I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply. Let us begin. Welcome. It's the BILs podcast. It's your boy Rockett, and it's his very own episode, the Rockett Rant episode, year 2020. Yes, lots to talk about, lots to discuss. I've taken the time to jot down some things, and also going to run through some things that came across the wire today that's kind of on my mind. I'm going to give it some thought. So I'm going to hit you off with our biggest discussion today is going to be Oprah Winfrey and her decision to back out of the Russell Wilson. Give my take on that. I'm gonna give my take on the Trump impeachment, just a high level view. I was watching some of the live things and everything, and anyway, first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to one of my good friends from back in the day. It was actually a roommate, and it's Kevin Harris. He passed away earlier this week, and he was a young black brother, a gentle giant. And when they used to stay with me, him and his brothers, plural, they always used to call me uncle, and I'm like maybe 9-10 years older than Kevin was, and probably a little less than his brothers and everything. But he was a great guy. Had a infectious laugh and everything. He was probably about my height, about 6'4", but I mean, like when I think of LeBron James, I think of him as far as like that size, like he's a man child and everything. And he passed away, and it really saddens me anytime that a brother, someone like him, because to me he had a good spirit, but and both of his brothers did. They still today to me is some good guys and everything. And I think the last time I saw him was probably about 2 years ago and everything. But one of the proudest moment is the fact that, he graduated from high school and went off to college, and he was staying with me. So just, the fact that I can contribute to another black man kind of having some. And I don't take all the credit because his brothers was there, and his older brother, he was the beast. And it actually kind of reminds me of my co podcasters and my nephews. I just should have led with my nephews, but I'm just trying to find the right memory to to his friends and family. He's definitely somebody that left this, in my opinion, left this earth worst off. So shout out to you, Kevin. Love you, dog. All right. With that being said, I was getting a little bit emotional and everything here. There's a couple of things I want to talk about and everything, but I want to kind of get some stuff that came across the news today, the battle for the black voters heats up. So, the Democrats, now that there's really no non-white candidate other than Andrew Yang, but a lot of people probably don't want to bring him to the attention. But he's my candidate. But the battle for the black voters is heating up. Elizabeth Warren is trying to come for Biden because Biden is, I think he's probably in the same spot that Hillary was and everything, thinking that the black vote is is a sure end and everything. I really wish it was in the case of Hillary, although I didn't think she was the perfect candidate. I thought she was the best candidate at the time. I don't give a damn about that foolishness of Benghazi Gate and everything, but she was polished to me well more than Trump. Now with Hillary, I think that we would have got the same thing. Not the same thing as Trump, but the same thing as the Obama years. But then as I look and I say what that means for Black folks, that still mean that we're still we're just still at the bottom, you know. Even though Trump came in and he shook up things, I mean, we still at the bottom. Don't get me wrong; he ain't did nothing for us, and I'm not, I'm not capable. But what I will say is that it allowed America to wake up. Whether and I'll speak probably from the Black American standpoint, but it really allowing us, and you'll see this in radio, to saying what's in it for Black Americans, because we have been purposely left out. We've been purposely left out. We've been blindly left out. We've been left out. Point blank. Period. So now we got to ask ourselves with these candidates that's coming up that's trying to get the Black vote. They're going to go to the churches because the pastor is he's gonna bring home his flock vote and everything, sold to the poll Sunday and everything. But then there's like, what about people like me? I don't claim to be a Democrat or a Republican, although I have conservative viewpoints, like true conservative viewpoints, not that white supremacy bullshit where they saying less is giving money, they're raping America by increasing our debt, same as the fake Republican that's in the office now, same as plenty Republicans before. Because if you look at their track record about our national debt, it always go in. They always bring in some program that they don't balance the budget to spend. So I've been tracking that. But anyway, enough about all of that. That's just one of the things that I see is like, we really, as Black people, we really got to stand together and say, what's in it for us? What do we want? To me, I don't know. How did we come together on that is a big question. But I don't know if I had the opportunity, and I know that the Democratic Party is going to be here this summer for their DNC. I want to see if I can get somebody I'm gonna pose the question. You know what I'm saying? Do you think that African Americans or Black Americans, do we need, serve, or should have a Secretary of Black America? That's a crazy job right there when you think about it, because we have been targeted and created to be the most dysfunctional race in America. Our dollar don't stay in the community. We're killing one another's. Black women are negatively targeting Black men. Black men are negatively targeting Black women. There's a whole list of things that keeps us apart, and there's small things. There's not a lot of things that's been put out there. The narrative that's been put out there about how we are better together. So those are just right off the back. But there's a couple of hot topics here that I'm gonna talk about. Ayanna Presley, told the fake Secretary of Education, and so she goes and make a distinction that what is that? I was about to say abolishment, but abortion. Abortion is equivalent to ending slavery. So you end abortion, we end slavery, except for prison. That's what she forgot to mention as well. But she was like, she invited her to Congress, and then she left that little cautionary word right there. She ain't hashtagging now. And I'm just gonna repeat what she said because I'm looking at her her tweet. It said, "Dear Betsy," she should have had a Freudian slip on that, but as a Black woman and the chair of the Abortion Access Task Force, I invite you to come by the Hill and say this to my face. Poor Betsy. We'll welcome the opportunity to educate you. Now, I've heard this word before. Oh, trying to scoot up under here, not trying to get relaxed enough here. I've heard this word before. Say it to my face. And now for y'all that don't know, that word said to my face is like, come test me. Come here. Come on over here and say it to my face. And then she put that, I would welcome the opportunity to educate you. That's deadly. And then she like, regards, Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley. Now, if y'all don't know, shout out to Ayanna Pressley, who, I think she's a fantastic woman, bar none. I think she's poised, the way she speaks, just how she carries herself. She's, to me, she's up there with Michelle Obama as far as class. It just, presence, class, decorum, all of that, hands down. I can actually see her running for president really in the next 4 or 8 years, depending on how this turn out. You know what I'm saying? Don't know if she'll get there, but I can see her running for president. And I think that she would be an awesome. There's just something about her that just, it's like, I trust her. I followed enough to say she's one of the true Congress person in Congress. There's a lot of them on both sides. Further, and I reserve the right here on the Bill podcast. I reserve the right to change my mind when further evidence presents itself. Anyhow, we welcome the opportunity to educate you. That's a trickery. That's yeah. To me, and I'm not a bed man, but if I was, I would translate that in, come and say it to my face. I welcome the opportunity to whoop your ass on talking all this dumb shit. Now, I don't mean fisticuffs, but if fisticuffs came about, I still got my money on Presley. She'll press Devos. Anyway, I don't condone violence, but except in the ring and in the NFL. But y'all see we'll get to that later. Don't worry about it. I got a whole lot of stuff for y'all. Yeah, woo-wee. So one of our things also that's, come on now. Listen here. I've offered my services to all these institutions, and I can save you money. Only thing you have to do is just ask Rockett, and I'll tell you. If you're being dumb, you're gonna lose money on this. I mean, I'm gonna get paid still the same because I told you so. Maybe that should be my consulting company. I told you so. Like if I tell you, nah, don't do that dumb shit, and you do it anyway, I'm gonna say, I told you so. And if I tell you, yeah, that's cool, and you do that, it's like, I told you so. So it's a win for me, but I'm trying to win for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because I like some of y'all products. I think I used to have an account at TFC probably about 20 years ago. Yeah. Anyway, so there's a brouhaha stoning that's coming TFC way. Outrage bills for a bank that call the cops on a black man trying to cash a check. I tell you, boy, it gets no realer. Different year, same feelings. Anyway, that's the caption. We've been down there. There's there's another shooting and everything. Is like questioning the shooting and killing of a black man who was also disabled. That hurts my heart. I hate to go up but I want to try to put it out there. But anyway, there was another brawl. That was Kansas State versus Kansas. And of course, they're going to liken this to the NFL brawl with Pittsburgh versus the Browns and everything. And they're going to run with these narratives. Why? Because it includes the black man being violent. And that is always a good negative narrative for the media to continue to spin. Oh yeah, I'm gonna give you that black man angle all day here. It's the BILs podcast. It's the Rockett Rant. It's the new year, same feelings you got. All right, so let's get into some of the stuff that I want to just dive. Spread a little Laurie's on that. That's Laurie season salt. Black folks, y'all understand. Anyway, so the Senate is decide to, they started the trial and everything. And my thoughts on the Trump impeachment, although it affects us, and I probably said in a couple of podcasts in the past that it doesn't affect us. But it does. It affects us because if this does not damage Trump and this does not help Trump to lose the election, the next 4 years it's going to be total hell for black folks. That's just how I see it. That's just how anybody get the Democratic ticket, we're gonna vote for him anyway. And I was like, do I believe? Is that? I don't even like that narrative. I don't even like putting it out like that because it's like playing spades. You're telling your hand. I do feel that the next candidate that we as black folks select should be somebody that is saying, I'm going to do this for everybody. So I know that kind of leans a lot to Andrew Yang for me, because that $1,000 for everybody. As soon as you hit 18, boom. I would like to see something like that happen because it's going to help cure poverty. And if people don't understand and if people don't understand the way that we are going, I was just having lunch with a couple of friends from work yesterday, and we talk about everything. We talk about football, basketball, politics, just from a black man perspective, and it's good. It's good and healthy to sit down and talk to other, because that's saying that there is support out there. And a lot of times, especially in workplaces, you're on an island by yourself and you have to plug in and still be a team member. But you can feel the difference when people don't look like you and people don't, they don't behave like you. But you still, it's a job. So you're not there to make friends, but you still will want a job that you can have friends there, and everybody is not going to be your friend, but that's my take on that. But getting back to Trump impeachment, overall, what I said that the Trump impeachment, and I said it didn't affect black people and everything, but I just mentioned broke it down on how I feel it would. But what I look at it from, and I'm just looking at it from like try to look at it from a white people's perspective, and I was like, okay, you know what? I was like, this is the impeachment is checks and balances. This is when white nationalism, feel that white supremacy has become too disrespectful. You know, it was like it took Trump to do all of this, to behave all as America, to the United States of America, to its citizens, even the ones that voted for him, but they give him a pass because that's when you sign on to that white nationalism and everything. You extend that rope, and this guy, he done made money. He done bucked all the rules that as a president should upheld. He got to release his business. He's still sending people down to Mar-a-Lago. Trump is stunned, and he damned people to do something about it. And they did. Reluctantly, very reluctantly, which I get it because it's the president. You don't want to impeach him and everything, and you don't want to look like it's partisan, which some of it is, but the most of it is not. Because if Obama dipped his toe into anything that Trump was thinking of, he would have been impeached, probably assassinated, all types of dumb shit. And yeah, there's no factual, but we know this to be true. We're not dumb. We could be ignorant, but we're not dumb. We know that there's a different appliance when it comes to Barack Obama and Trump. That's why you see Trump tearing down everything, damn near everything that Barack Obama did. And, McCain, I still wouldn't have voted for him in the primary because I didn't like the platform that he was running on. I think the year before when he was running against, not the year before, but 4 years ago when he was running against George Bush, he was a lot likable, but as he got older, he was too much of a war hawk for me. And hey, he was too old, just like Bernie, just like Biden, just like Trump. This is just too old, And Elizabeth Warren is on that cusp, maybe because she's a woman. I don't know. They live longer, they retain their faculties more. I don't know, science, or bullshit, whatever you want to call it. But it's Rockett Rants. I can do that. Trying to reel them in. This is not a dictatorship. You're not emperor. You're not king. That's the real white supremacy right there. Is like, you could do all of these things. Like China can bulldoze. You got Putin. He can do his thing. Kim Yum, he doing his thing. And these are all the people that he's buddies with. That he's cool with. So it's like, I'm black, right? Russian ain't never did nothing to me, but you can't get me. You know what I'm saying? To go against my country for Russia. And guess what? America has done a lot to black folks, but it's like that's just where I stand, Now we got this president in office and, he's doing this thing and he's like, hey, I'm going where the money goes. You know what I'm saying? This is about Trumpocracy, not about anything else. And Democrats not letting him hijack their shit, because they was at least that smart, just like the NFL is like, no, you can't get an owner. Everything you touch. It's like, no, you ain't a real billionaire. You ain't about this life. And now they quivering and they boost. Hey, believe it or not, all of these people that don't want to hear from Trump, now that he done passed the taxes and all of that stuff, they want him out of there too. Best believe that. So they can go on with their merry way. They can go on about the business of making money and not have to show their allegiance when white supremacy is calling for a check-in. And that's what the NFL had to do. That's what they did with Colin Kaepernick. You know, they let him go. Now they run an advertisement right now on the Super Bowl weekend talking about the Botham James. You know, and shout out for them for doing that, but still, you got to make it right. It can't be a half of a whole. You know, I was like, I don't know what connection Jay-Z got, and I want to believe that Jay-Z is still pulling for Colin Kaepernick, but I also want to believe that whoever is pulling for Colin Kaepernick, they're going to do it the right way. And let's do it above board and not behind. Let's just, come on, let's be men about this. This is a guy that can play, let him play. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see him go and play in the XFL or the Canada Football League. I'd just like to see Cap do his thing, but he's beholden to the NFL, and I'll support that too. You know, I don't got no qualms about that. You know, but I do say this. I think Cap surround himself by people that can influence that. You know, whether that's somebody like Jay-Z or somebody close to Jay-Z, or whether that's somebody that's close to Roger Goodell. I mean, he has friends. You know what I'm saying? He you know, if he wanted to make it happen, you know, just don't give up. You know, but don't wait for them to come to you neither. That's just me. But you know, hey, it's the Bills podcast, Rockett Rant. I haven't been here in about 3 weeks. We haven't shot in about about 3 weeks since 2019. So I had to come out here and give y'all a little piece of my mind, because I think it's warranted. You know, I think I want to campaign and push for Andrew Yang. You know, I talked to a politician friend of mine's and seemed to disagree, but to me, Andrew Yang is resonating. I don't, you know, I mean, $1,000 a month caught my ear. I was like, I see that making. I think that'll be good for America. I think it would end poverty, but he has he has over last time I checked 160 other ideas. You know, one was to end robocall and shit like that. But hey, that's an idea. But then also legalize marijuana, which I think is a good idea. You know, I would like to see more about that, not just legal arrest, just expunge that. You know, just wipe that slate clean. Just go ahead. You know, and then furthermore, give them that pathway onto marijuana dispensaries, you know, or growing or whatever, you know, but make sure that there's jobs that they're or opportunity for them to create. You know, I think for our government, I think they need to stop being investors in corporations and in social programs, and start, you know, being investors in the American citizen. Like, everybody should have the opportunity, at least for a job, but the opportunity to create job should exist much more. Just my thoughts, people. Just my thoughts. You know, it's Friday. It's Rockett Rant. Got nothing to do other than to talk to you about my thoughts. All right. So, all right. So let's get into Oprah Winfrey. You know, let's. And this is delicate for me, because I have enjoyed Oprah Winfrey in the past. Masterclass, even some of the Oprah shows and everything. Some people that she brought on have made me more aware. So I appreciate that, you know. But last year, I disagreed with her getting behind that Michael Jackson debacle that I call it. You know, I wish she was nowhere near that because in the state of blackness, she's a black woman. And last time I checked, Michael Jackson's still a black man. We still kept him in the black community. You know, our black lottery, we outsourced. Well, we didn't outsource. Wu-Tang got taken by the Chinese, but we kept Oprah, if I'm not mistaken. You know, if I'm wrong, somebody correct me. Anyway, yeah, that really I disapproved, and I thought her excuse behind that to me was bullshit. But now she comes back with the Russell Simmons. And I don't like my Michael Jackson, he was dead. They already been there, done that. There was evidence on both sides. There's a lie detector test that says not. And then the people that was looking for it looked like they money ran out. They were looking for more money. So that's why I'm calling it bullshit. You know, I don't know. They sold Oprah a bag of goods on that. I don't know because she's about to turn 66, and you know, faculties is not, you know, or she don't care. Shit, you know, I can sit up there and make excuses, but shit, at the end of the day, maybe that's what Oprah wanted to do. Just like, look, I don't give a damn about these black men. I'm gonna help tear them down, and that's the angle I'm coming with. You know, so I'm not here to argue against Russell Simmons because, you know, Russell Simmons, his action is his actions and everything. And if he did rape those girls, you know, I wasn't there. I don't know. My heart goes out to any and every woman that has been raped because that's just evil, point blank, period. So yeah, that whether, you know, it happened or not, I'm not arguing that because I wasn't there, and that would be dumb of me to try to argue that. Be very dumb. Very, very dumb. What I'm talking about here is what it feels like. And it feels like the machine that Oprah has aligned with, and I throw Gail under there, is making a point to cast black men as, you know, rapists, child molesters. Yeah, point blank, period. You look at Gail with the R. Kelly interview. You look at Michael Jackson, and I shouldn't even call it Michael Jackson, that bullshit, you know. And then now she was backing this video that was coming out for Russell Simmons for the Sundance, you know. And she was on the Gail morning show. Y'all call it the CBS morning show. I'm gonna call that Gail morning show to tee it up, to allow Oprah to explain why she backed out. And then she gave context in her past about being molested and raped. And once again, you know, my heart and goes out to her for that and everything because, you know, it's horrendous. It's horrible. But she was like, yeah, he was pressuring me behind the scenes and in front of the scenes and everything. And she was like, you know, the Me Too movement and the, you know, in her past. And she, you know, in the interview, she just had like an emotional connection of why, like why she wanted to support this. And then when she backed out, one of the ladies saying that, you know, she got punked, like Russell Simmons punked her. But then she said there was some inconsistencies and everything. And then it's like one lady came on that wasn't around in her story, and she just didn't that, you know, should hold off. Like, let's re-edit that. Let's, you know, before we put it out to Sundance, because, you know, she wanted to clean. Now, this is what Oprah was saying on the Gail Morning Show, you know, about why she stepped out. Now, what I found out also is that Ava DuVernay, I hope I'm pronouncing her name right, but hey, she's a bad director, like great director, not bad being great. Anyway, she was a harsh critic of it. That's all they said, you know, and I don't know if it was about the connection. I don't know if it was about the work of it or anything, but she was a harsh critic. So I read a little into that as why it's like she probably was like, hey, sister, don't do this. Just ease back out, you know, and probably gave some more. That's what I would like to think. Don't know, you know, and I leave with that. I don't know, but I'm just telling you how I feel. So I'm gonna speak from that point. And so with that, she was like, you know, she said she led with this, like, I want to know if it's the right thing to do, you know, and I believe it is. Anytime, like, I do believe that people should be able to put out who have hurt them, you know. But I would like to see, like, do a lawsuit, do a class, do a, you know, back that, but let that be some type of legal, like, ramification if this is true, instead of witch hunting if it's not. But still, at the same time, it's painting a negative pictures on Black men. Now, and why I say that, and I say that alone, is because out of Bill Cosby, out of Michael Jackson, out of R. Kelly, out of Russell Simmons. Now, these are the four Black men that are prominent figures. At one point of their life, they were bigger and badder than most people. You know, now you have people that there is no documentary, or you don't have anybody getting behind, is Harvey Weinstein, who's right now going into court being swept under the rug. That's how I feel. Now you look at Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein, who was, they said that he killed himself, but now they done arrested two of the officers that have become ghosts, because he was part of a child molestation ring, a sex trafficking ring. That's why you got Andrew Prince over there. You know, maybe Meghan Markle said, hey, we need to bounce up out of here. Come on, Archie, let's go. I'm going to go to Canada. I don't know. I'm just talking. I'm just like, these are thoughts that are coming to my head, because it's like, why are we not looking at this? Because it's not the intent. The intent, to me, always lead back. It's always better to cover white bullshit with some Black bullshit, and then, you know, another nigga dead or another nigga in jail, whether he's rich or poor, it just create the narrative that Black men aren't worth the salt, you know. So Oprah went on to talk about, you know, her molest. I wish that she, and I'm not trying to be facetious or anything, but it would be, I think it would be more insightful to America, because Oprah do have that media presence and power to tell her story in detail. Call out that person or those people or whomever abused her. You know, just like she said, her family did not believe her. You know, and I know there's many like that. You know what I'm saying? And me being a father of all girls, I am very, um, very cautious and careful and on point on that, because here in Milwaukee, sex trafficking ring for underage kids is very prevalent. So, my first thing as a priority is, know where your kids at. But even when your kids are with you, make sure you check their temperature. Make sure they ain't acting funny because, you allowed them to go someplace and then they come back different. I don't want to say that because I don't want to be putting things in the air, but I'm just saying as a father, I tell my girl, if I ain't saying, let me see your face. I want to see if you look different. Hey, it's sad that we have to be this way, and it's sad that we have to talk about things like this, but it's real out here. It's real out here. If you think for 1 second you let your guard down, that somebody won't try to come up and fuck up your happiness. And these kids, like my daughter, I give my life to make sure that they are protected. That's just me. That's in my DNA. Now I know I'm getting off the strip with Oprah, but I wanna say that Oprah has the power to teach people how close child molestation is. Charlemagne talked about it. He talked about it and everything, and sometimes all of this is trauma. This is trauma, and I understand why Oprah may see my point or may not see my point, because she was hurt by a black man. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you grow up in a black poor community and everything, or not, but you grow up in the same community, the people that's your skin color, yeah, they're gonna be your villains too. And black people, especially black men, or black women too. I'm not gonna exclude them, but yeah, especially black men, because we're just because we carry that image that we are savages or violent or super predators or super thugs, that our skin color gives us this wow factor, this hedonism or whatever. Like you think it, they'll place it on black people, or especially black men. But our sisters, they got to worry about the police too. Don't and that's not a distant second. No, that's like right there, right behind us. But then they also got to worry about rape. I can't think of one. Never mind on that one. But anyway, I want to kind of close that up. That I think that we as black people, especially black people that are in influential positions, they need to kind of speak on how can we heal, because that's the narrative of America and everything. I think a lot of times that we spend too much time tracking down negative information. Therefore, we get that negative information in our streams, our bloodstreams, and we push it back on people. Say hurt people. And Oprah, she was hurt, as she explained in her past and everything. And I know, well, it's seen on the paper that her and Russell Simmons was buddies, maybe buddies at one point. A picture don't mean that you're buddies. It just means that you were in this picture. But I know that Oprah did have a problem with hip hop hip hop records. But you know, even going back to that, and maybe that's where all of this stems from. I think like C. Dolores Tucker, who was another black woman. She was, I think she was in Congress, and she wanted to try to get some money off the back end of hip hop. She was exposed. I'm not saying that that's Oprah, but I'm just saying is that there's a better way to go about it. You know, because when I look at hip hop and I look at R&B, I think it was sabotage. You know, and I'll speak a little on that because I probably want my podcasters here so that we can get into it, because I like it when we, you know, I like it when we have those discussions. But what I mean about R&B and rap, I say this. I said for R&B we could have went either R. Kelly or Brian McKnight. I think the most part we chose R. Kelly. And when you look at album sales or songs, now I'm more of a Brian McKnight fan. That's it. I like R. Kelly music, don't get me wrong, especially in my younger days, you know. But Brian McKnight, I can do more on. I can Brian McKnight. I choose Brian McKnight. Now, for your rap side, you know, you had you had Boogie Down Production, Public Enemy. I'm gonna even throw NWA in there, because everything that NWA was talking about, it was reality, and it wasn't all negative. Just saying, there's some things that's in there that was negative, but then that's when the record labels and the executive was like, they wanted that. That's what's going to get the spins. That's what the listeners was listening to, and then that is the zone. See, and I equate that to Michael Jordan. You know, Michael Jordan versus Magic. Magic was R&B. You know, Michael Jordan was hip hop. And I know I'm kind of like apples and oranges, but I'm just trying to give y'all an analogy to see where my mind goes when I'm start thinking of all of this shit. But anyway, so Johnson, Showtime, hey, you know, boom, boom. Michael Jordan was raw, uncut, authentic. I'm gonna dunk on you. I'm gonna slash you. I'm just gonna make you look stupid. Magic Johnson, pass by. I'm making me look great. I ain't like making you look stupid. I'm making me look great. You know what I'm saying? I'm passing here, like mouth up. Showtime. And I wasn't a Laker fan back in the day. I did not like the I did not like the Lakers. I did not like the Bulls. I did not like the Celtics. I liked the 76ers because Dr. J and then Charles Barkley. And then when Charles Barkley left, anyway, skip all that. I'm a Bucks fan now, 100%. I'm just talking about my childhood and what I see and everything. Getting back to my analogy. When Michael Jordan came along and he was Public Enemy, X-Clan, you know, it was like, if you think about how he, boom, you know, all of these things, defense, dunking on you, shooting on you, talking trash, all of that, hip hop, you know, it's a different type of hip hop. It was more conscious, you know, so everybody followed that trend. But then now you got another trend coming in. Now you have the Golden State Warriors. You have Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. They coming in with the 3-pointers. Wasn't nobody trying to shoot no 3-pointers like they doing now. I mean, you had sprinkles of it, but it wasn't hot because Michael Jordan, he was the hotness. You know what I'm saying? Now you got these cats that's coming in, they shooting 3-pointers out of the way. Now you got more people shooting 3-pointers than slashing and yoking because 3-pointers is sexy now. And that is like when they change rap music and they label reality rap as gangster rap, and hoes, as the, and I was right there celebrating because I was young and I was dumb and I was impressionable. And guess what? I saw the young women's chanting, and I followed suit because that's who I was attracted to. I saw the older guys chanting, and I saw the older women. I saw it like, okay, we all accept this. I didn't think it, even at that time, I didn't think it was like my reality. I didn't think that I'm going to run up to a woman and call her out of her name or disrespect her, and think that that was gangster. But I just see where things went wrong. Where if we had more people like Public Enemy, KRS-One, and sprinkling in a little, don't get me wrong, no, it's sprinkling a little gangster because it's all reality, but we should not make gangster rap primary. And Black people, we need to control our own culture, our own state that we're looking at right now, where we got Black men disrespecting Black women, referring to them as dogs, look like, or allowing non-Black people to refer our first lady as an 8. We got to do better. But we also, we had, Oprah, What It Feels Like, because she didn't speak on it. She spoke on like with the Black woman saying that she was pressured by Russell Simmons. But I know she heard what 50 Cent said, and I know what she heard what other people said. It feels like, and Gail did not address her. And that's why I call it the Gail Morning Show, because that's not good journalism. I don't have a journalism degree, and I still know that that's not a good journalism. That's like, hey, I'm teeing this up for you because you're my buddy. And although I disagree with that, I don't lose sleep over it. It's some form of nepotism because you're my buddy. Yeah, I ain't gonna. I mean, hey, probably address it in a way that you can soften it over. Or I would like for documentaries to come out with that warning sign. On rap records and on movies that everything is rated and everything. I want them to put on there that, and even on podcasts or TV shows, when they got somebody they feel like wilding out, like this person does and thought does not represents yada yada yada. Put that on documentaries, especially when a certain segment of a population is feel like that is creating the narrative of who we are. So if you want to do that bullshit documentary last year, this documentary does not in one way indict Black men. I'm cool with that. Do that for the OJ shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they keep and then show the rise of Black men that don't even do dumb shit like they do. I don't even know how I got back on there. Maybe it's an idea that I had and it probably just jumped in my brain. But anyway, where was I at? I think I wasn't talking about Trump. I was talking a little bit about Oprah and the problem that I had with her. But yeah, I'm gonna close that out because I said my point. I don't know if it's gonna change or not, but I don't have any ill will, but I just I see things and I just want to speak them out, and and I know I'm not alone, because some people have spoke about this, and we continue to talk about this, because you got to be careful of the content that you put out, and you got to be careful of the words that you use when you're trying to defend your position. So I don't want this position or another brother's position or anybody for that fact. But if I feel that my position is not being, if you don't care about my position, then fuck your position. All right. So enough said on that. Let's get over to probably the last thing that the last serious conversation that I want to talk about is Ed Gordon. Ed Gordon used to do these talk shows, interview. But now he came out with this book, and I'm gonna pick this book up tomorrow. It's called Conversation in Black. So he's had a couple of conversations with several prominent Black people, and he's just getting their opinion, their feel on certain things that affects Black people, which I really believe that, and he had an interview on The Breakfast Club. He had an interview also on Sway. He had an interview on Karen Hunter, which I say check it out, and definitely check out Karen Hunter, because I think she's just uber dope. I think her and Jim Rogan, to me, they have some of the best because they talk things out, and it's not about right or wrong, it's just talking it out, and it's allowing a safe space to explore something, and not saying this is my belief. But even if it is, let's talk it through. Let's not try to, your belief is not my belief, so I'm gonna cram you into my belief box. Let's get rid of that shit, because my beliefs is very different, and I found out that she was a Republican. Damn, I'm all over the place. This is some nice shine right here. But circling back to Ed Gordon, I definitely want to get into this book, because I definitely want this book to be part of a show or a continuation, because I think it's important to continue to talk about how as Black people that we can heal and build together. And I don't think that's being talked about. I don't think that's being pushed first and foremost. And I know it's not being pushed in the Black community in the light. I see a lot of building. I see a lot of people talking. And one of the things, let's do something, that's, I'm tired of talking. So I am looking to reactivate myself back into continue to make a difference for Black people in my way. I ain't no Martin Luther, no Malcolm X. I'm just Rockett. So, but he talked to, like, Charlemagne the God. He talked to, I wish he had to talk to Obama. I don't know if he did or not. But I would like to hear Obama talk about his tough choices. And I would like to hear Obama talk about his, because they try to, and this is Black people and white people, that's trying to always tear him down, always equate that he did nothing for the Black community. I would like to hear him toot his horn and just let it be known, because I think he did an awesome job with what he was into. I think he did a hell of a job if we had just respectable, true American people that did not look at his skin color or did not look at the fact that he was a Democrat, but just look at the policies. Because that's what's going to make a difference here. It's like, we got to look at the policy, and we got to look at the policy of what's right for American people. Because what's right for American people is going to be right for corporations, because American people work for those corporations. It's going to be right for the government, because American people work for those government. you know, and maybe I'm fooling myself. Maybe shit, somebody whispered sweet nothing in my ear and say, yeah, push for this greater America. Yeah. So we can make America great for the first time. Thank you. All right. So I'm gonna check out that Ed Gordon because that's one of the things that if you ask me, my black card said I have to. Don't listen to anybody else. Stay black, pay taxes. That's all you got to do. If you know, if you heard that, then you know what I'm talking about. So before we close out, just a couple of quick things that I want to. This is a lady that came across. Her name is Dr. Ruby Lathan. She's a black woman, and she cured her own cancer. She talks about it on the Karen Hunter Show. She also has her own podcast, and she has her own vegan plan that helps not only cure cancer, but she has this kidney that helps restore kidneys. She talks about this one gentleman that she was preparing and had him go through her dietary, and he was on the kidney transplant list, the donor list, and when he went to get tested, they had to over 50%. So it was like, okay, you're no longer in need of a kidney. So what I do, I look her up, I research, and I shoot it out to people I know that may have some issues that, hey, this is going to be less expensive and healthy than chemo or radiation. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know, but this is an alternative, and it maybe it won't help altogether, help on its own, but it could speed up the healing process. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but when I see something, if I know somebody that may need this information that I feel, I'd rather share it to them and they make that decision. So, her name once again is Dr. Ruby Lathan. Black woman, was on point there. But those are the things that we need to do. We need to share this information about what is being successful done. Although but when we go in as Black people, when we go and go to the doctor, like I went to the doctor probably about 2 months ago. I changed my primary care physician. She was across town, the original one, and I ain't have a connection with her anyway, So then I go and I'm on the other side of town now. I've been here for 5 years and still in trying this mantra of getting healthy and moving forward. I go and I trust in the doctors, which I don't. And that's one thing that Black people, we need to start doing, is not trusting in the doctor absolutely, especially over you, because you're paying the doctor. The doctor works for you. And it's a guessing game until they make a decision, they make a diagnosis. So sometimes they'll put you on medication, and that could either fuck you up in some other areas or bring something up that maybe, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but this is what my research has led me, and this is what I feel. And I go off of what I feel after I've done my research and I thought about it. But she did not make me feel like that I was cared for. I remember feeling that way. I remember having a problem. It was like, because there were some things I was talking about. It's like, well, yeah, if it comes up again, we'll look at it later. Like, fuck no. It's like, why can't we look at it now? It was like, and it was felt like she was more trying to drum up future dollars to have me come back again like this is like a membership, like every 30 days, like this is Netflix. Like, no, motherfucker, this is my health, you know. Now, if I have to come back, that's fine. But if I say something, don't kick it down the road. If I'm concerned about some things, don't kick it down the road. Like if it comes back up, give me your best educated guess. Give me, I come and I talk to you because I want to know how to get rid of the shit. I don't want it. You know, if my neck is hurting and shit, give me therapy. You know, if my eye is like, give me some eye medication. I don't know. Give me some shit. My stomach hurt. You know, give me some stomach medication. Or, I mean, give me something. And I don't want to say just medication because I don't want that to be like, oh, I just want to get, you know, doped up, because I believe this Western medicine, these pharmaceuticals and shit, they'll kill you quicker than whatever you've been diagnosed with. That's just, it's going to kill you in other areas. It might cure that, but then it'll put you on some other track. It was like, you know, my aunt, she was steroids, so it gave her diabetes and probably some other shit, you know, because we trust the doctors too damn much. We do. We got to start, especially as Black people, we got to start trusting our feelings on some things, especially when it's been repetitive. My wife went to the doctor and she felt the exact same way. This ain't no Vulcan mind melt type shit. This is, you go to one place, go to the same doctor. We have different physicians, and you get the same feeling. Like they ain't doing shit. Like they kicking the can down the road, and you got to pay these extra co-pays, and you got to do all of these tests and shit, and they're jacking up the insurance costs, but they ain't fixing. They're not advising shit. That's what I'm saying. So when she got an email and you're like, should I say something? Say, you should, yeah. Let them know and speak for me too. Tell them my husband felt the same way. Because we got to start saying something, because we got to start controlling our dollars. We got to control our narrative. We got to control and be there for one another. And a lot of times we're not, because our government has been complicit in kids. They backed a lot of this white supremacy shit. Our laws haven't changed, and most of these laws are to limit Black opportunity. I think there's somebody that came across one of the courts just said that we're able to sue the government now. So I know there's a couple of lawsuits of reparations. I don't know, maybe that's a class action lawsuit, but they're complicit as well. But anyway, now I'm just going on. I was rocking, but no pun intended. So I started out the show, you know, showing my respects to a dear friend of mine. I'm not sure I understand. Me neither. Turn yourself off. Stay off my phone. Now I want to get, as I close out this show, I want to get to what you see hanging up behind me. For those that don't know, it is and if you are anywhere in the state of Wisconsin, you know what that means, because they just came through that storm and gave it to you last week. And I'm talking about the Green Bay Packers. You know, now, and the reason why I'm talking like this is because my 49ers were on to the Super Bowl. But I ain't going to get on that yet, because I'm going to break down some stuff that, you know, I call myself, I could be a coach. I truly believe that. I played enough Madden, and I'm a commissioner. I'm on the board for a sports league for our young black youth here and everything here in the city of Milwaukee. So I watched enough football. The X's and O's. I could put a team around me and everything, but I could be a coach. I could lead a team to greatness. I really believe that. Now, without that, I agreed. I'm beside myself, but I still believe I can do it. Can't take that away from me. My Niners. Gales Packers, a two-piece. Our score is the same, 37 at the end of the day. Now, in week 10, when we gave you that good old-fashioned ass whooping, what made y'all think that the shit was going to be different? But you know what? I let you talk because I'm mature now. Usually I'll be in Facebook and I'm handing y'all the business and I'm pre-talking, because it's my name. I'm going to talk anyway. But it felt more important to me to shut my mouth and let my Niners do what they did. And I shut my mouth until that day. Oh, yeah. And they got busy on them boys. And they was trying to come up with a name, and I was like, man, why don't they call that cat Run Hard Monster? Because he was running hard and he was monstrative on that whole that defensive line, the backyard. It was like, man, they was analyzing this cat, cutting through, hitting these holes and gaps and shot out. I mean, it was a well executed, orchestrated game. That's what I saw. Now, they're going up against a very formidable team. Patrick Mahomes, that boy, he's lights out. He's a bad boy. He is. He throws better than Aaron Rodgers. I'm not going to give him the accuracy, but I will give just his ability to make plays on over the whole field is crazy. It's bananas. So he's going to be definitely is a threat. And then he Hill, who is speed demon. That dude can kill you and you won't even know it, because once he get the ball, you ain't catching him. You ain't. Either he's running into another defender or don't have angle or running out, or he's just gone. So, but our defense is good against deep ball drops. We're number one in that, and we need that because it's coming. It's coming. They're gonna attack what we're weak at. Aha. But we're not. Our defense, I don't see the weakness. I don't. When we compare maybe stretch the field. You got Tyreek burning that field because I think he can outrun anybody. Mahomes is shifty enough to buy time, and he doesn't even have to buy that much time to throw that. That's the only threat. I would say if we cut that off, let him run, you let him do all of that. You can throw it to Travis Kelce, keep him in front of us. That. Once again, I said I can be a coach. That would be one of my tactics. The other tactics, of course, it's going to be the run game because they're 26th against the run. So you're definitely gonna lean into Run Hard Monster because he got the hot legs, But we get my boy Breida in there too because he's another beast. And they don't protect the edge. They spend all their time against Derrick Henry. So don't think I'm, like, oh, you didn't see what they. Yeah, they stopped him. They stopped him, and in my opinion, he also ran out of gas because that boy was putting up mad yards consistently. He almost put 600 yards, and we're talking about 1,000 yard rushing in a season, and in 3 games, almost 600. Yeah, so the dude is a beast, but I just do believe that he ran out of gas. Also, that he was on the down, because to keep that consistently, I just couldn't see it for maybe one more game, but for 2 more games. Think about that though. In 2 more games, if he had kept that up, he would have been close to 1,000 yards. You know, so I think the Kansas City defense met them as Derrick Henry was coming down, and they knew they had to stop the run because they had Tannehill. And Tannehill, he's Tannehill. What more can I say? Now, I know what you're thinking. Hey, you got Garoppolo. Yes, we do. And I trust Garoppolo. I do. I've seen this dude make some – I've seen him make some passes that clench him ass cheeks. How about that? Tight. Like, ooh, oh, you know, it is what it is. But that's who's going to smoke the Kansas City Chiefs defense. I think he's going to have maybe 250 yards of throwing, maybe 300. But all of that right there is what I'm talking about is no, never mind. Because the bottom line of what I see is that I do believe my Niners are going to win. I do. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, although I would like it to be, because I like to feel comfort. I like to be comfortable in these games. I'm not one of those. I'm a Niners fan. When I say it about the 49ers, I say my Niners, you know, possessive like that, you know. But I do think that it's going to be a good game, and I like Kansas City Chiefs a lot as my if I had to pick an AFC team that I would like to see win a Super Bowl, not against my Niners. When he left to go, when they got traded and he went to Kansas City Chiefs, that was the only time that I was okay when my Niners lost at that time, because I didn't think they should have got rid of Joe Montana. And if we fast forward to the new Joe Montana, Tom Brady, that's what I think that we would have coined that. I think we would have did that. We would have turned that. We would have had a couple of more chips if we had Joe Montana, and we would have had a couple of more chips before 95. Steve Young could have still stand there and got the 94-95 season. But anyway, going in the past, I trust Garoppolo. I think he's going to show up big because Kyle Shanahan, he's masterful when it comes to creating that offense that Sheen running. And he got those weapons too. Don't get me wrong. Kittle. Then you got Deebo Samuels. That boy is a dog. He loves to hunt. He loves to come across that middle, and he's pew. He's not fast in Hill. But hey, we ain't got to worry about that because Deebo is on our offense, and he can still gut that defense because that defense secondary is their weakness. That offensive line is also the weakness against the run because they run 26. They rank 26. That offensive line, it shows up, and sometimes it doesn't show up. That, and we got them boys. We got them them 4 boys. We got D Ford. We got Bosa. And then we got the inner twins. We got those boys from Oregon. We got Armstead, and we got Buckner. And then we got our cats. We got our the backup cats when they switch out. These are first round draft pick monsters, and they are